Studio Sakokumlemle in Accra with digital address GA09933441. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi. Affiliates across the country including Pad FM in Damongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank. Let's go. And coming up, Government of Ghana initiates moves to secure all $18 billion worth of ECG assets under control of PDS as the new manager of Ghana's power distribution sector is mired in controversy.
The very first thing that had to be done was to get the Financial Intelligence Center to freeze all the accounts of PDS that were holding cash and resources that had been collected from subscribers to electricity.
We've got more as Joy News cites fresh documents revealing PDS paid the required $12.2 million premium to secure insurance guarantees to finalize takeover of ECG. Mixed reaction greets government's decision to rename the UDS WA campus after one of the founders of the MPP.
All the public universities in the country follow this order, but UDS in particular failed to comply by the order. And this is what we mean by they failed to comply by the order.
Looted shops, razed homes and widespread devastation. Joy News tours Lower and Upper Disco following violent clashes there earlier this month.
My sons have fled the town. The elder one, who had to write his exam, is yet to come back. I'm scared.
We'll hear from residents requesting the president's intervention.
We believe that the president, following his leadership in the resolution of the carbon crisis, could lend a hand in nipping the long-standing dispute in discourse in the back.
And also,
I don't know why I'm going crazy alone in a daze and my heart ain't the same and I don't even...
American R&B star Deborah Cox gives you a teaser of what to expect at the much-awaited Ghana World Music Festival this weekend.
I don't know why I'm going crazy alone in the days and my heart ain't the same and I don't even think unless I think about you.
And in sports,
Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah has received the backing of a former Ghana youth coach to stay on despite calls for his exit.
Benedict Oates will be here with the sports in about 20 minutes. My name is Israel Aye. Stay tuned in. The government of Ghana says it is now working to return an estimated $18 billion worth of ECG assets held by PDS. Government has said a deal to transfer management of ECG to Power Distribution Services was mired in fraud. Information Minister Kojo Nkrumah has been addressing the matter. But first, exclusive documents cited by Joy News revealed that PDS paid the required $12.2 million premium to secure the insurance guarantees required to finance the takeover of Power Distribution Services from the ECG. It appears, however, as shown by the documents, that the money never got to the reinsurers in Qatar. Here's a news desk report.
In a letter dated 21st February 2019, CalBank writes to the Millennium Development Authority, notifying them of receipt of an amount of $8 million as deposit towards the payment of the fees charges for the issuance of the demand guarantees for a total value of $350 million. Then in May, the final installment of $4.25 million was also paid from the PDS account at CalBank. Government has suspended the PDS concession agreement because of suspicion that the guarantees were fake. Joy News understands that once CalBank received the payment from PDS, it worked with Dunwell Insurance to finalize the deal. Dunwell also engaged Jordanian-based broker Joe Australia Reinsurance Brokers, who were tasked with the job of finally making the required payments to secure the final demand guarantees from Qatar-based insurance firm Al Qut. It is Al Qut which on July 16 last month, through its chief officer, General Insurance, Mr. Osman Hag Musa, wrote to ECG alerting them to a situation of fraud in which the initial guarantee submitted was allegedly forged by an employee of the company who lacked the authority to issue such a guarantee. Joy News has, however, secured another letter dated Wednesday, 31st July, in which Al Qut has written to the insurance broker, notifying the broker of the formal cancellation of the insurance coverage they had guaranteed. They explained in this letter that they are cancelling the cover because the broker had not paid the premium. So the question is, where is the $12.2 million PDS paid through CalBank to secure the insurance cover? And why is Al Quote now acknowledging that it had previously agreed to provide the insurance guarantee when it had 15 days earlier written to ECG claiming no such guarantee has been issued by it? Well, Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah says these matters will be a subject of a probe which will be pursued by experts put together by government.
That report, that was a news desk report. But earlier today, the Information Minister indicated on the Super Morning Show, discussions are underway to ensure all assets managed by PDS are returned to ECG.
Everything that is being done must be done in accordance with the law and the various agreements. So you need a fine-tooth comb to go through it without emotions, but having these very difficult conversations with the various actors, the Americans, our colleagues at PDS, the ECG team, the lawyers, and making the point that in this particular instance, this is what the law says, and therefore this is what must be done. The brief we have is that is the procedure that the Energy Commission has to use, and it's going in accordance with that procedure. But importantly, or most importantly, in the interim, ECG and PDS officials are working to ensure that ECG has access to those sites and that those sites are not compromised.
So you can assure Ghanaians that this will in no way affect how power is supplied?
The brief I have is that we do not expect that there will be interruptions in power supply as a result of this ongoing transition.
The workers, we know that the workers have now signed official agreements with PDS and they have moved to become workers of PDS, even though previously they were working for ECG. Now, the Deputy Minister of Energy, William Arekwedu, has said that they will receive their salaries at the end of the month. Who will pay them?
It is my understanding that during this intervening period, this 30-day period when a proper determination of the matter is being made, both the ECG and the PDS side are engaging on who has access to the resources and therefore who has to pay them. You do know that as at now, the Financial Intelligence Center, in fact, even before we made the announcement on Wednesday night, one of the very first things that had to be done was to get the Financial Intelligence Center to freeze all the accounts of PDS that were holding cash and resources that had been collected from subscribers to electricity.
Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah speaking there to Super Morning Show host Daniel Dadze. Residents of Lower and Upper Discover are speaking up against violence in the area as they demand the president's intervention in the matter. The call comes after the chief of Lower Discover, Nana Kwesi Agyeman IX, and 4 of his subjects were allegedly kidnapped in the dead of the night by some heavily built men. We'll bring you details from that news conference shortly, but first, Joy News' Henry Kwesi Badu visited the community and reports residents say there is still tension in the area. His report is read to you.
Over the past week, the predominantly fishing community has been in the news, not for the right reasons, but for events that will forever leave scars on the minds of residents. They are hunters. Life in this community is yet to return to normal. Days after the disturbances, canoes have been destroyed, homes razed, and vehicles vandalized. Around those close to the Lower Discove Palace are remnants of the violent clash. Some shops were also looted.
In the heat of the disturbances, my shop was ransacked. The thugs stole my goods and have since reported to the police.
There is tension in the community with heavy police presence in both the Lower and Upper Discoves. Most men have fled the town. Cecilia Kofi and Mamin Ketiaba are residents.
We are scared. They chased us. I fled to a nearby village, Buzia. I sell porridge and my table was destroyed. My children and I have sought refuge in a friend's house. My sons have fled the town. The elder one, who had to write his exam, is yet to come back. I'm scared.
As many look on, worried, some repair and fix their damaged property. For those who were allegedly kidnapped, it was a horrific experience, they say. Nana Kroma is one of the sub-chiefs kidnapped. He's the Mrantiahini of Lower Discove. He recounts how the well-built machete-wielding men picked them up in the middle of the night.
I heard the warning shot. I was frightened. I overheard someone shout and ask where I was. They broke into the palace. I begged them to allow me wear something, but they refused. They hit and kicked me. They slapped me several times. They locked us in a room and beat us. We later heard the police and they finally rescued us.
Residents of both the upper and lower Discoves say peace is a priority as the proposed sword cutting for the construction of a fishing harbour at Turum is in limbo. Chiami Hine Stephen Kwabena and Nana Kofi Basao are both elders in the Discove area.
We need peace here. We are one people. Most of the youth have fled and the town is fast turning into a ghost town.
I'm from
Lower Discove, but my wife is from the upper side. Many people have done the same, so we need peace.
Well, hundreds of young people, mainly from Ahanta West, Sekondi Takoradi Metropolis and the Ifiakwetiminti municipalities, joined forces to appeal for President Akufo-Addo to intervene.
We believe that the President, following his leadership in the resolution of the carbon crisis, could lend a hand in nipping the long-standing dispute in Discove in the back. We know or have been made aware of some historical documents and court rulings and land ownership between Lower and Upper Discove, especially in relation to True. Many of them are matters of court records. We therefore expect that the Municipal Security Council to enforce law and order to ensure that all citizens of Discove are protected. And we repeat, all citizens of Discove must adequately be protected. In times like this, we expect the police to protect all citizens of Discove. Our police should do their work and arrest if violence should erupt its end.
In a related development, the Western Region House of Chiefs is also demanding a presidential commission to investigate the long-standing litigation between the Upper and Lower Discove traditional area in the region. Making the demand at the Jubilee House, President of the Western Region House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yao Jebi, said the committee's recommendation will permanently resolve the dispute.
We are heartened by your unflinching declaration to bring the perpetrators to face the full rigors of the law. We are confident that this will happen sooner than later. We respectfully call on your government to resource the Western Region Coordinating Council to set up an investigative committee to look into the festering feud between the two Discoves and make recommendation for its resolution.
President of the Western Region House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yao Jebi. You're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Former Information Minister Fritz Bafour is calling for the strengthening of the National Media Commission. The commission is mandated primarily by the Constitution to promote and ensure the freedom and independence of the media. But Mr. Bafour says the lack of resources makes it difficult for the commission to do its work effectively.
The Media Commission should be given more bite. I was a media commissioner for 2 terms, and it was difficult because we're supposed to be being financed by government. We didn't get our finances. It was, I think, only about 3 months ago that I got, salary arrears after 3 years of leaving. Yeah, so that's how bad it is. And then the kind of monies that should come to the Media Commission to do their work, for them to monitor and have oversight over the media, is not there.
So you joined the campaign using the hashtag Defend Media Freedom. Sound of excitement from the people of Kundai Junction, one of the 19 communities in the Karachi East Municipal Assembly that has been declared open defecation free this year. Municipal Chief Executive for the area, Patrick Charity Himilia, says this has brought them closer to achieving their target of making the municipality completely free from open defecation. But here's what doubled their joy: the commissioning of a borehole by World Vision Ghana to end the decades of drinking from the disease-infested river there. And it's Mainu visited the community and our reports.
Access to potable water remains a big challenge for many communities in Ghana. In most of these communities, open defecation is rife, taking a toll on the health of the people. One of such is Kunda Junction in the Karachi East Municipality. Joseph Ta is the District Environmental Health Officer.
The situation was very terrible. Defecating inside the bushes within the community. This brought about a whole lot of diseases.
But the people say the lack of potable water, especially in the dry season, is a major contributory factor. The only source of water is the polluted Prague River. Some of the residents shared with me the difficulties they've had to face drinking, washing, and doing everything else with this river water.
We sometimes don't even get water.
During Harmattan season, you go to the riverside, you yourself will dig some holes before you get water from it. And then night time you experience snake bites.
But through the WASH program of NGO World Vision Ghana, the town has now been declared open defecation free.
Means that every household should be having a household toilet. And within the community and the bushes, there should not be any trace of feces on the background in the open space.
To ensure the situation is addressed permanently, World Vision on this occasion, to celebrate the open defecation-free status, commissioned a mechanized borehole and donated it to the community. Karachi Cluster Manager for World Vision Ghana, Edward Ola, urged the community to take good care of the facility.
World Vision here and MCE.
This borehole, Kexi World Vision, is now for us. Let us all make good use of it.
The people are excited.
Come here. Anytime we want to fetch water, we can get it easy to drink. And then I think the most important thing is it will also prevent us from some waterborne diseases.
Today, the story is different. The people of Kunda can at any time walk from their homes to this mechanized borehole to get clean drinking water. All they have to do is to just pump. And as they pump away all their troubles with water, from river blindness to bilharzia. Ernest Minu for Joy News.
In a related story, in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi, a young man has been arrested for open defecation. Erastus Asaridonko joins us on the line. Erastus, what more can you tell us?
Well, so this young man, 31 years of age, was defecating close to the Subin drain. And this drain is just a smelling distance from where they smoke the city's fish. But if you look at where he was doing his business, the whole place has been turned into a public toilet. And so he was arrested, handed over to the Asukwa police, and currently as we speak, he's being processed for court.
All right, thank you very much, Erastus Asaridonko, bringing us that update from Kumasi. You're listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We're taking a break, but still ahead, a mix of anger and sorrow at Amasamang in the Ga West District of the Greater Accra region this morning as an identified man demolished stalls in the main market, they're prompting protest and closure of the Accra to Kumasi Highway.
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man.
The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302 633 988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Welcome back to the Midday News, and it's time for Sports. Benedict Osu is here. Hello, Benedict.
Hi, Israel. Now, the Sports Ministry and the Ghana Football Association Normalization Committee have been urged to make a pronouncement on the future of Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah. It is unclear whether Coach Appiah is staying or not, and with just some few months to the start of the 2021 AFCON qualifiers, many are calling for his future to be known. Well, former Black Starlets assistant coach Isaac Boateng is part of those making that call.
I think there should be a pronouncement as to whether the coach should stay or not. But personally, Coach Kwesi Appiah, I would say he must be allowed to continue in the job. He should stay so that he should be able to form a new group, rebrand the team that we can call a golden generation. That is how the Nigerians called their recent squad, golden team. Let's call our own golden generation and then bring in young boys for us to build towards 2022 World Cup. Kwesi Appiah has done it before. He did it in 2014. To qualify the team, the only black coach, local coach, qualified Ghana to the World Cup. If we allow him to build a golden team, he can do it again for 2022 World Cup.
All right, so certainly Isaac Kupele Boateng wants Coach Kwesi Appiah to stay on as coach of the Black Stars, but wants his future to be made known before we start our qualifiers. We'll talk of coaches on the continent. Stuart Baxter has officially announced his resignation as head coach of the South African team. Some sad news coming through. We have Nick Pakpo Alote Kofi, one of the most consistent promoters of juvenile and amateur boxing in recent times, has passed. Definitely we'll tell you more about him when you join us on Locker Room. And also tonight, Israel, you have to be with us at Labadi Beach. You know, the English Premier League is starting next 2 weeks. And this week is a community deadline. Of course, the transfer deadline is next week. Okay. But, you know, this weekend is a community shield. On Sunday, we're going to have Liverpool and Manchester City. So there's a warm-up show. That's the transfer countdown warm-up show happening this evening. It's going to be at Labadi Beach, but will be live on radio, 7 p.m. But you have to join us. Talk about which team do you support?
Chelsea.
Okay, so you've signed some players. We'll let you know why you signed those players and their impact going into the season, which will start in 2 weeks' time.
All right, thank you very much, Benedict Owusu with the sports. A mix of anger and sorrow this morning at Amasamang in the Gan West district of the Greater Accra region, where traders there blocked the main Accra-Kumasi highway to protest the demolition of the market stalls. The demolition, according to the women, was carried out by unidentified men they alleged were following the orders of the municipal chief executive. It took the intervention of the police to reopen the road to traffic.
Second, third, to see an abalance, to 30 million.
The MCE Clement Ni Lamte Wilkinson is however denying the claims of the traders.
The people who came here, according to them, they said the person is Clement. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not the one. And the person is called Clement Jato. I'm not the one. You can go to the police divisional commander. The person reported before they reported before they came here. So you can go there and you can listen to them. So now I was at the office when they called me. This is what has happened. That is why I came here. But they keep on saying because the person's name is Clement. And I said I'm not the one. That is why I'm here. That is why I'm here. If I'm running for election, rather I will do this. I mean, do you think so? And the same people This land belongs to the Ministry of Agri, right? This land belongs to Ministry of Agri. It doesn't belong to the Assembly. It doesn't belong to me. Neither belongs to them. And the Agri Ministry says, no, we will not allow you to do this thing on our land. So please, you can go ahead and look for the people who did that thing. You can go to the divisional commander and ask him. They will produce the Agri Ministry, their task force. I brought 90 people here, just here, not here. And I told them they should not build any structure because the land doesn't belong to me.
Meanwhile, the traders say they remain stranded as their creditors pursue them for payment of loans they procured for their businesses. Now, since assuming office in January 2017, President Akufo-Addo has renamed a number of state institutions and schools, including the Flagstaff House, the University of Mines and Technology, University of Professional Studies, among others. These name changes were met with criticism as some believed they were unnecessary. But just yesterday, majority MPs pushed through a controversial proposal to change the name of one of the WA campus of University of Development Studies, which was called the University of Business and Integrated Development Studies. It has been renamed Simon Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies after Simon Diedong Dombo, a founding father of the MPP. We'll get reactions from some residents of WA, but first, many are wondering why the university was named as Simon Dombo. Journey's editor Fred Smith joins me in the studio with what more we know about him. So, Fred, who really is Simon Dombo?
Well, Simon Diedong Dombo was a Ghanaian politician. He was a teacher and he was also a chief. He was a member of parliament at some point and also the parliamentary leader during the First Republic of Ghana. He was one of the founders of the Northern People's Party, the NPP. This later merged with the United Party. During the Second Republic, he was a member of the ruling Progress Party, PP. He was Minister for Health and then Minister for Interior in the Busia government. He was also a Dori Na and also reputed to be the first educated chieftain in the Upper West region of Ghana. He was banned from holding elected office by the Supreme Military Council prior to the 1979 elections.
All right, thank you very much, Joy News editor Fred Smith. Now, Rafiq Salam has also been speaking with residents of WA on how they receive the news.
We are not against naming the institute after him, anybody, but government should look deep into that, go beyond partisan politics and go beyond individuals or selfish interests. If the government decide to name UGS campus, I do not see anything wrong about it. If you look at Waspo Stadium, it's been named to Malik Jabbar, which I think we don't want Malik Jabbar names to be silenced. If you look at Dombo's contribution to Ghana and the Upper West region, I do not see anything wrong if they decide to name Dombo to replace the UDS.
Is deemed a slap on the faces of several profound traditional rulers, religious rulers, astute politicians, and so forth from the Upper West region here, who perhaps in one way or the other have performed better than S.D. Dombo, and perhaps who could have been better fit to have this university named after them. We are of the view that His Excellency President Akufo-Addo and the NPP government should reconsider that decision. We do not want our university to begin with controversies.
You heard those residents there of the Upper West Regional Capital, WA. Artists billed to perform at this weekend's Ghana World Music Festival say they are thrilled to be part of the year of return that shares the African dream. The celebration of power of Ghanaian music and the sounds of the diaspora will see several A-list artists on one stage sharing different beats with their fans. Third World, American R&B artist Deborah Cox, Ernie Smith and Kojo Antwi are some of the musicians performing tomorrow. They say they have nothing but surprises for fans who throng the Fantasy Dome on Saturday and Sunday. They interacted with Mavio Usuabaji on the AM show this morning.
We have the return of celebrating music in its entirety. Soul, jazz, R&B, pop, we're all contributing to a sound that was birthed here. And it's wonderful to be a part of it. It's over 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Mm-hmm. Saturday is for the international artists. Sunday is for the more local artists as well. And we're here to bring it all together.
Nice. Yeah. And is this a first time?
First time?
Yes, my first time in Ghana.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's so big, it's so small. Yeah, I've traveled a lot in Africa, but I was pleasantly surprised to come to Ghana. It's a beautiful nation, a beautiful spirit of the people. I almost feel like I'm an ambassador for Africa and an ambassador for South Africa.
To have a diva on stage, I mean, when she performs elsewhere, you pay more to. I mean, you can.
It's
to
true.
See her.
You pay 80 cedis to watch her.
Same applies to
any.
And when I perform here, you know, Kempinski, you pay 500 Ghana cedis to come and see. But you see, the vibes, it's not about the money.
Right.
It's really not about the money. It's about coming to a place to feel this atmosphere.
Right after that interview, there was a Deborah Cox moment in the newsroom. As you know, in the newsroom, it's not just about news. Sometimes it gets musical as well.
I know a few of her songs, but instead of me interviewing her, I'm going to be handed over to somebody who is like a biggest fan in Ghana, who can sing almost all her songs. And so, with a resounding round of applause, please help me welcome Efua Evans Chinnery.
I'm going to sing Sentimental. Now that you're gone, I want you more. I said it slapped me in my face, and now my friends don't understand why I had the chance. I don't know why I'm going crazy alone in the days, and my heart ain't the same, and I don't even think unless I think about you. Yeah, that's the only time I get sentimental.
That's the only time I get sentimental. And that's how we end the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Israel. I have a good afternoon.